For most of German-born Raimund Pitt's culinary career, he worked at the Disney Empire in Florida. At taping time, he was executive chef at the Disney MGM Studios at Lake Buena Vista, Florida. He has an armful of awards and shows why with this impressive dish called Tropical Tuna Danish.
We start out by selecting a center-cut tuna, yellowfin tuna, and then try to sear it down to about 2 inches in diameter. And try to also make sure that you maintain a nice round consistency so the eye of the tuna, once you bake it, really comes out not only uniform but also really in terms of cooking, because tuna traditionally is served medium rare. But you may make any alterations as you wish in the terms of your cooking requirements that you have.
A force meat which will coat the tuna begins with chunks of grouper filet.
Next we have our lobster, in this case Maine lobster. The Florida lobster obviously is very seasonal, and this particular lobster here is more adaptable as it relates to the various different regions. We did poach off the lobster just a little bit because the grouper does not take quite as long as the lobster does, so we don't want to go ahead and overcook that. Next, we have our egg whites. Add it to the force meat. A little bit of heavy cream, so the force meat is not as dry at the end and doesn't become very gritty when you eat it. We take a little bit of again Mrs. Dash, which is a salt substitute. Excellent in flavor, all natural, and really brings some tremendous flavor to the overall profile. We add some basil, fresh chopped. I do recommend that you utilize fresh in this case because it really brings out the true flavor of all the ingredients that are combined. Make sure that you don't overwork it, because if you do that, again, it tends to, we call it overworked, it tends to get real gritty and like little balls when you chew it. So you want to be very careful with that. The last thing, we take a look at the combination, make sure it's combined quite well. Then we're going to add some fresh cracked pepper to it. And again, I recommend fresh cracked pepper in this case. You may utilize a dry pepper if you want, but I think the flavor here is more combust and really more delicate. Here we have some fresh dill. We're going to go ahead and take this mixture and just work it just for 1 second or so to combine the remaining ingredients. That looks about the right consistency here. So we go ahead and take this off, and the next step would be to roll it out.
The mixture is rolled between 2 pieces of plastic wrap.
Fold over the sides. And then pick it up, place it on the cutting board, and you're ready to roll the tuna loin. Pull it back, very easy. As you can see, it was 2 pieces, so we go ahead and remove one. Place the tuna loin that has been trimmed in advance onto your force meat and fold it over. It's actually a very easy and simple dish to do, but also adds a certain flair to some tremendous creativity. Roll it like that a few times to make sure it adheres to the loin. Set aside, and then you're ready for the tuna Danish, which is really the the key ingredient to tropical tuna Danish.
The Danish dough is basically a savory mixture.
The next important step is to be sure to brush evenly some egg wash inside of, on top of the dough. And that particular layer remains inside as you roll up the tuna loin, which really helps in the aiding of making it adhere to the tuna itself. And also prevents any juices from coming out of the dough during the baking process. I think we gave the Danish dough some time now to soak in. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and pull the saran wrap back on the tuna loin as much as we can. What we're going to do next is to pick it up, place it on the edge of the cutting board, pull back on the saran wrap, and it should go on there very easily. Next, again, make sure that the dough has been rolled up nice and square. If not, go ahead and cut off the excess just to maintain a nice, even, and perfect consistency. Let's do the same thing in the back. And also, we want to make sure that we don't cover the tuna loin with more than one layer. And the reason being is if you do cover it with more than one layer, it tends to overcook the tuna and therefore really reducing the quality of the product. Next, we're going to pick up the saran wrap, fold back like this, and we're going to wrap it in one layer of Danish dough. As you can see, it just turned out perfectly. Fold the ends just like that, and fold it under. And then we're going to place it on a half sheet pan that has been sprayed with some Vaseline, or even go ahead and put some parchment paper on. Next thing we're going to do is just before we put it in the oven, we're going to go ahead and glaze the entire Danish dough with some egg wash to give it a tremendous sheen or gloss, if you will, and also for some additional flavor, because it really provides great intensity in terms of the sweetness of the dough. We're going to go ahead and put some egg wash, again very lightly, because you don't want to overpower the flavor on it.
Bake at 375 degrees for 15 minutes. Let the finished Danish rest 10 minutes before carving. It's served with a variety of julienne root vegetables, which were blanched and warmed through with butter. The sauce is reduced lobster stock with tomato and basil and thickened with cornstarch.